Hello, welcome to a Warzone video, or should I say my last ever Warzone video on this channel, because as of today I'm moving to Battlefield 6, and at the end of the month I'll also be covering Arc Raiders on this channel. So finally some new games to get my teeth into, and this is not, this is not a shout down towards Warzone or Call of Duty. They're going in their own direction and they're doing their own thing, but unfortunately it's not for me anymore. Their changes have gone well to what I remember Warzone being back in when it first released on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. No extreme running, really good balanced, but the place it is now, it's just not for me. And it's time to move on. Plus, I am also, as well as I've liked Call of Duty games, I'm also a fan of Battlefield. And it's been a long time since I've actually wanted to play a Battlefield game, because Battlefield 2042 was just the worst. But now finally, there's a good Battlefield game on the horizon today, and I really can't wait to play. For me, this isn't a fight against who's better, Call of Duty or Battlefield. You know what? If your game looks good, I'll play it. Unfortunately, the new Call of Duty is not keeping me intrigued, and Warzone has just become so stagnant now. Lack of content, lack of anything, and I need something new. I don't know what the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale is going to be like. I don't know if they're going to make the same mistakes as Warzone, or do something different and keep it alive. Who knows? But the good thing is, I have the normal Battlefield conquest mode to fall back on if it doesn't work out, and I've also got Arc Raiders to enjoy. So there's going to be plenty to keep me going and keep this channel going. But I just wanted to talk about my journey with Warzone. Obviously, I've played it for 5 years. That's quite a long time. It's kept me going. And yeah, it's had its ups and downs. It's had its pros and its cons, and things we've liked and things we've disliked. But there's also, in amongst all that kind of uncertainty and the ups and downs of Warzone, there's been some fun times and fun moments. And I want to do a big shout out to Love Crumpet and Salty Bizzle and I'm Not Karen and Tech Nation and Youngster. Some of the names and people that I've played with and actually played against with our own little Hunt Showdown game that we made and made up because of the stupid decisions that have been made by Warzone and Ranked Play, taking certain play modes out that you just can't play together. That baffles me, but that's what they did. Duos would be out for a long while, and we've not been able to play trios for a long while because they've put them into Ranked Play. So these are some of the negative reasons why I'm not going to miss Warzone. But yeah, these are some of the people that I've played with and had really good moments with. But it's time to move on. As for Love Crumpet and I'm Not Karen and Salty Bizzle, they play a bit of Warzone now and then, but they're not fully committed like we used to be. And as for me and Tech Nation, we are moving to Battlefield because we are also fans of Battlefield. But I just want to go back to when Warzone first came out. It was on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, solid movement, solid guns, solid sound, and the first year of Warzone was the golden year. It was absolutely amazing. We had a blast. Me and Love Crumpet were playing the other day, and I think the amount of time he plays on Warzone now is probably about 2 hours. After a couple of hours, he's done. He's off. But he was saying when Warzone first released, he can remember he would play and you'd lose track of time. Next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m. and you had to get to bed. He said it just doesn't feel like it used to anymore. And I think we all have that kind of slump. We're having that slump moment with Warzone where we're like, yeah, it's had its day, it's done. These guys aren't moving to Battlefield 6 though. But hopefully there'll be a game that comes out in the future that brings us all together. But yeah, just remembering about Warzone, and I was thinking about all the maps that we've played. You know, we started on Verdansk, we went to Caldera, we then went to Al Mazrah in Warzone 2 and DMZ, and then eventually we moved to Urzikstan. And now, not by popular demand, we are back in Verdansk, and it was nice to be back. I think one of the biggest and disappointing things with Warzone is a map rotation would have been good. I think if he could have rotated Verdansk, Al Mazrah and Urzikstan, let's leave Caldera out. You can actually see Caldera currently in the gameplay that's showing. I played it. I did not like it. It was an awful map. But a map rotation would have been good. It would have been something. Would have kept the game fresh. But let's not also forget about our Resurgence maps. If you're a Resurgence fan, I wasn't a massive Resurgence fan, but I did play it. You had Rebirth Island, Fortune's Keep, Ashika Island, and Vondel. If you're to ask me when I played Resurgence, what was my favourite Resurgence map, and I would say Fortune's Keep. Hands down, Fortune's Keep was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Second was Vondel. Third was Rebirth Island, and Ashika Island can just do one because it was awful. I think Ashika Island played well as a DMZ map, but not a Resurgence map. And let's not forget about DMZ. That was the thing that came side by side with Warzone 2. It was a mode that I wasn't actually keen on when it was first announced. And I don't think I played it straight away. I was on Warzone Al Mazrah, just enjoying the Battle Royale. And eventually I tried DMZ, but eventually we absolutely loved it. And again, I think there was a time where I didn't actually play the Battle Royale for a good few months because I was just playing DMZ all the time. It's a shame it didn't actually get looked after and nurtured. I think it was just there for a time and then just got ditched like Call of Duty like to do. They're very good at moving on to their next projects quite quickly. But with Warzone, unfortunately, with moving on to their next projects, all the next bunch of new Call of Duty information, stuff, guns, whatever, it was just thrown into the mix, which caused a lot of problems and caused the game to break on quite a lot of occasions with bugs, glitches, and meta weapons. But hey, that is the journey of Warzone. I was also thinking about what was your favourite LTM, limited time mode. What was your favourite one? I had a few come to mind. There's been quite a lot, but the ones that came to my mind were buyback solos. Absolutely brilliant as a solo player. Loved it. One of the funnest ones was Juggernaut Royale. Nothing better than either being a Juggernaut or trying to fight against a Juggernaut. For a time they did a no loadouts LTM, so you just had to use the guns that you found. That one didn't last too long, if I remember. It was good. My second favourite was actually Iron Trials. I actually really enjoyed Iron Trials. I actually got one of my most memorable wins. I went in as a solo in duos, so I was on my own. I didn't even get my loadout. I had ground loot guns, but some of the ground loot guns were quite powerful, and I managed to kill the last duo team for the win. That was one of my most memorable and favourite wins. But if you're to ask me what my absolute favourite limited time mode was, Zombie Royale. Now, when I say Zombie Royale, I want to say the very first Zombie Royale that they ever brought out in the first year of Warzone was hands down one of the best things they ever did. And unfortunately, going forward, they tried to change Zombie Royale over the years, and they did not do it successfully at all. The very first Zombie Royale was absolutely amazing. I loved it, and yeah, it's going to be one of my all-time favourites. So yeah, that's it for me. Please put in the comments any LTMs that you really enjoyed. I know there was like Armoured Royale, that was quite interesting and funny. There's probably some that I haven't mentioned, maybe because I tried them and didn't like them. But yeah, please feel free to put in the comments what your favourite LTM was, and please put in the comments about what maps you liked. Would you have liked to see a map rotation? Would you not? Did you enjoy water play when it come along? You know, obviously with our Mazda Warzone 2 came water plays, shooting underwater pistols. Me and Tech Nation had an absolute blast in Vondale. We literally would just stay in the canal the whole time and try and get a water play win. We absolutely loved it, but not everyone liked it. So, you know, comment down below and tell me what you think. I was also thinking about my favourite guns. And yeah, if you look at Warzone now, there is a lot of guns. Sad to say that a lot of them are not viable. So unfortunately, you can use them if you want, but whether you get the win or not is a different question. And for me, I think it goes back to when Warzone first released. I think some of the very first original guns were some of the best guns, by far. I know in the gameplay you can just see I'm on those that stand using the KMR sniper rifle 50 cal, which was a good sniper, but I wouldn't say it was my favourite. Some of my favourite guns, like the Kilo 141, the M4A1, the Odin. If anyone remembers the Odin, it was a gun that packed a punch. Now the hard thing about the Odin was the recoil was really hard, but when you mastered it, it paid off. As you can see, you got the Kar 98K in the gameplay currently. This isn't the very first Kar 98. This is when they re-bought it back in Urzikstan, reintroduced it. But the very original Kar 98 was brilliant. You had the AMAX, and they've brought that back as well. But the original AMAX really packed a punch with a very difficult recoil pattern. I'm a fan favourite of burst weapons. I remember always using the burst AUG and the burst M16. Got a lot of gameplay with that. HDR sniper was one of the first snipers I started using in the first year of Warzone, and obviously they re-bought that back recently, and I've been using that quite a lot again. But if you were to ask me, actually, I've missed one out. The LMG, one of my favourite LMGs was the PKM, which was absolutely brilliant LMG. I used that quite a lot. But if you were to ask me what was my favourite weapon, what was the thing I liked using the most? And I don't know if any of my friends that I play with are listening to this and they've guessed it before I actually say what it is. But my favourite weapon of choice were the Cali sticks. Now, not the Cali sticks they brought back recently into Warzone, because they are no good. I'm talking about the original Cali sticks that were a 2-tap hit, that were absolutely broken and didn't get changed for quite a long time. I have quite a lot of funny rage videos and people screaming at me down the mic because they hated the Cali sticks. They were so much fun, and such a joy to use. So yeah, I do miss them. And yeah, when they got reintroduced to this version of Verdansk, it just wasn't the same, and they didn't want anything too broken. I understand that, but yeah, it didn't really feel like the same. So yeah, these are just some of the things that have been in my head, and I will miss some of the memorable gameplays that we've had in Warzone, but it's time to move on, and I think that's not a bad thing for Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty have got a bit lazy, and they've got a bit used to the fact there's not been any main competitive games challenging them. And I think there's been a lot more they could do and could put into Warzone to make it better. Map rotations, map changes, weather dynamics, anything. I mean, look at it now. It's nighttime with the zombie mode currently. That changes the dynamic of the game. It makes it interesting. But unfortunately, Warzone has been stagnant for far too long, with very little change. Excuse me, very little content, and people are now starting to get fed up and bored with just the same old. So obviously people are going to try something new. Maybe people who aren't even Battlefield fans might have even liked what they're seeing and would be willing to give Battlefield a try just to play something different. But yeah, I just think that Call of Duty now need to put some effort into their content and their games, and I think some healthy competition might make them realise listen to the fans and make them actually put some quality and some care into their games. Because Warzone, I think, needs to either get better or just it needs to go. They need to do something new, and maybe make something different and new. I would love a Blackout 2. I really would. Blackout was the more superior battle royale in my opinion. But like I say, I'm going to now focus on Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders, and will not even think about jumping back on Warzone, because after this video I will be deleting it from my PlayStation. So yeah, so that's me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please throw in the comments anything you like about what map you liked, limited time modes, favourite guns. Just comments, just yeah, share your experience. And if you're going to play Battlefield 6, I will see you on the battlefield. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Just a moment. I may be able to see more. Let me slip into a deeper trance.